started, breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here? Take me home, cause I wanna feel like I belong. They relate to all this pain in my past, so they listen to my song. So let's go back to where it began and where it all started from. Take this chance, one last dance, cause I've been waiting way too long. Take my hand, I wanna show you something. Promise I've been dying to see ya. They say the grass ain't always greener. I guess what they're saying is true. In my dreams, that's where I seen her. Take my heart and take all of me, girl. Let me show you what I wanna do. I wanna spend the rest of my life with you. Are you listening, darling? Look where we started, breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here? Are you listening, darling? Look where we started, breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Yeah, where do we go from here? Are you listening, darling? Are you listening, darling? Are you listening, darling? Look where we started, breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here?
Hello and welcome back, everybody, to, of course, another live stream. For anyone who does not know who I am, of course, my name is AJ, one of the mentors here at BitTrading. And today we are going to take a look at the Bitcoin technical analysis, as we always do. We're going to run through what is going on, what I'm looking for next, and of course, those next trades that I'm interested in taking. And I mean, we've seen a really, really nice rise today, of course, getting back above 70K, getting ever so close to all-time high again. So yeah, there is, of course, lots of things to be talking about. And of course, I did also talk about a possible short from this area. Now, I just want to highlight I am not short, and I have not shorted. Okay, I have not shorted. I am not short. So we were going to talk about this, and we're going to talk about where we could possibly look for a short trade, because in my opinion, the best possible trade for us is a short trade, right? And the reason why is because, of course, price is rising. Again, if you know me by now, I will never ever long a move up. I will always look for a short on the move up, and vice versa. I will never ever short a move down. I will always look for a long on the move down. So before we jump into it, please do, of course, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. It really helps me out, helps the channel out, and I can continue to, of course, bring you this content. So if you haven't already, please do smash that thumbs up button. And I will, of course, just remind you as well that we are doing a $500 giveaway at 500 subscribers. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed and you want to be entered into that, then of course, please do subscribe. That's everything that I need to say, really. So let's jump into it and take a look at what is currently going on. So I mean, where do we start, right? Where do we start? So 70K, let's start there, right? We've got above 70K. Now, this is something that I've been speaking about for quite some time as well. 70K, huge, first of all, psychological level, right? But most importantly, $70,998, okay, is the level that we needed to get above to break this very bearish trend that we've been in for past 7-8 months, whatever it's been, okay, all the way since start of March, basically, okay. So this bearish trend that we've been in since the start of March has finally been broken, okay. Trends do come to an end, okay, and this bearish trend has now come to an end. We've got above 70K. Great. This is of course invalidating that much bearish target of losing $48,900. Now, of course, some point in the future, there is still a possibility, okay, that we can lose $48,900, right? I am pretty sure that in the next bear market, we will probably break below $48,900, okay? It's probably, the likelihood of it is probably pretty high, but right, not until we're in a bear market, I don't think. Okay, so Where we are now, okay, is of course we're kind of looking towards all-time high. Probabilities would say, right, all-time high is on the cards, okay. So that's kind of where we can look towards, in all honesty. And, you know, like I said at the start, right? Exactly like I said at the start, I have not shorted. I am not short, okay? And, you know, the reason why I'm trying to highlight this is because I know I've been talking about this area here for a possible short trade. This is a level of interest, right? And again, you know, as I've always said, this is a level where I'm looking for a short trade, not necessarily going to take a short trade, but looking for a short trade, right? And I haven't taken the short trade here. And exactly like I told the team earlier today, no sign of weakness yet. Okay, so of course, this was us coming into those naked points of control and actually getting above those naked points of control there as well. And for me, there was just absolutely no weakness in the charts. We were continuing to see longs open up, okay, which in fact is very bullish. Okay, seeing longs open up is very, very bullish. Okay, it can, of course, increase price pretty dramatically. And that's exactly what we've seen here, right? This has all been caused by new long trades open up. So for me, where we are now, I don't see any weakness. The weakness, okay, that I would be looking for, of course, is when we start to put a lot of these long trades offside, okay? But in my opinion, right, we have not done that yet. Well, yeah, in my opinion, it's kind of a fact, right? Yeah, I can say that with confidence, right? Where we are now, it is a fact, right, that there are no, apart from a very small amount at the very top, possibly, okay, there are no long trades that are offside at this moment in time. All of the long trades that have opened up here are in a really, really nice profit. So what are they? Okay, they're happy, they're content in their trades. They're not really interested in closing their trades. Okay, they're pretty happy. Okay, of course, yes, if price does start to pull back pretty dramatically, that's when they could be inclined to, of course, start to close those trades, right? But where we are now, I don't see any signs of weakness. And I do initially think that we could see higher prices from here. Okay, taking a look at the order flow, right, we can see, like I said, you know, this move up has been pretty much fueled by long trades opening up. You can see, so from the low of the move here, okay, from that long trade setup that, of course, we spoke about down there, right, we can see that, of course, open interest over that period of time of price rising, okay, has also increased, right? Not dramatically, okay, but it has initially increased. We can see the same thing with the positive, with the delta as well. So you can see on the CVD, which is, of course, the running total of delta, we can see that over time, positive delta has been building, okay, which is telling us here that this move up has mainly been fueled by new long trades opening up. And of course, we can zoom in and we can see a little bit more of that, right? We can see 13 million longs open up here, 66 million there. That was 65 million short trades getting wrecked. But okay, here you can see 49 million long trades open up there, 13 million, 20 million, 26 million, 56 million. Where are we? 1 million, 2.6 million, 31 million, 13 million. I can go on for days here. 104 million and 62 million here. Okay, so this is like the important, the real important stuff here, right? 104 million. Okay, 104 million in this 1 8-hour candle here. Okay, then 62 million in this other 1 8-hour candle, right? So just in like 3 candles here, okay, if you merge these 3 candles together, okay, just in those candles, there is almost 200, okay, 200 million long trades that have opened up, okay, almost 200 million. There is a hell of a lot of long trades that have opened up here. And this is something that we were talking about last week, right? We were talking about this last week. 70K is probably going to be a very, very major level because it's a huge psychological level. Okay, but also we can factor in, right, the we can factor in the, where are we? Here. We can factor in the bull flag as well. Okay, we can also factor in that bull flag. So we have a huge breakout here. All right, this is what retail traders are going to be considering as a huge breakout. Okay, and this is what we were talking about, long trades opening up. Okay, and we didn't actually initially see a huge amount of long trades opening up on the breakout. Okay, so that's why I was kind of talking about last week 70k. Okay, maybe we see it breaking above 70k. Maybe that's what retail traders are waiting for. All right, maybe they're waiting for 70k to be broken. Okay, for then the long trades to open up, and that's exactly what we've seen. Right, 70k has been breached, and almost 200 million long trades have opened up. And you have to remember that this is Bybit alone. Okay, this is just Bybit BTC USD pair alone. Okay, this is not including the BTC USDT. Okay, look at that. Right, look at that on the BTC USDT pair. Right, so you've got 80 million there. You've got 60 million there, you've got 93 million there, you've got 231 million there, 183 million there, 187 million there. You've got a hell of a lot of long trades opening up there. Okay, you can also see here, right, we've had a lot of 394 million short trades get stopped out. Okay, we've had 390 million. This is on, of course, the BTC USD pair. Okay, why do we know this? Because, of course, open interest has decreased, okay, and yeah, this is a positive delta. So of course, this is trades closing, which of course would be short trades. Short trades that sorry, what am I on about? Yeah, short trades that would be closing. Okay, and of course that's helped drive the price up as well. Okay, so yeah, just an absolute huge amount of long trades that have opened up here on this USDT pair. And then, you know, of course, we can head over to something like Binance as well. You know, you can just see how many long trades. Look at Binance, right? 197, 211, 925, 550. There's just an absolute absurd amount of long trades opening up here as well. It's pretty crazy if you ask me, to be honest with you. And yeah, you can look at it on any exchange really, and it's all the same, right? It's all just long trades opening up here. Can we have a look here? That's not BTC. OKX, BTC. You can see it on OKX as well. It's a bit of a smaller exchange, but yeah, you can still see it there. Everybody's doing the same thing. Everybody on every exchange is doing the exact same thing. Of course, my preferred pair to look at is just the BTC USD on Bybit. And yeah, you could just see the amount of long trades, of course, that have opened up in this area here. It is pretty a pretty large amount. You can see very almost 200 million in these three candles. If you're including these candles before as well, we have over 200 million long trades that have opened up, and that, of course, is what's fueling this move up. Okay. That's what's fueling this move up. And this is what, of course, could take us to all-time high, right? This is what, of course, can take us to all-time high. And I'm really not against all-time high, okay? And to be honest with you, right, where we are now, I think the short trade from here is a little bit too far gone. I don't think you can really consider a short trade here. These naked points of control, they've just been breached with ease, right? They've been breached with ease. So yeah, not really too interested in these naked points of control anymore. I'm now kind of looking towards 73,475, of course, where we can also look to all-time high, which is literally a few $100s above that as well. Okay. So that's where I would initially be looking next. Okay. And of course, that's where we can look for that next short trade. That's the next major level that we can, of course, be looking to short. I will talk about this as well. But above that, right, above that, of course, it's all-time high. There's no other levels above us to short, okay, because it's all-time high. It's all, you know, it's all territory that we've never been in before, okay? So there's going to be no, other than psychological levels, there's going to be no real resistance above us, okay? That we can you know, that we can mark out on the chart, right? So yeah, of course you can look at liquidity heat maps and all of that stuff, but yeah, there's going to be no real resistance that we can look at above us. Okay, so it's all uncharted territory. And for that's when I'm kind of looking, right, okay, let's just, for a bit of an example, right, let's see high being put in. Let's wait for a bit of a pullback. Maybe we come up, make another high, okay, or maybe we see something where we come up. Maybe we can look at like a GP 786 level, something like this, for a pullback there in uncharted territory. That's kind of what I would be looking for, right? I'd just let price do its thing and give us some some information, okay? But like I said, above us, that last bit of resistance, okay, is that naked point of control at $73,475. And that's kind of where I'm looking towards now, in all honesty. That's where I'm looking towards, to be perfectly honest with you. And I think, there's a pretty high chance that we could see that. Now, there is also, I understand, a high chance that we could front run. Okay, so remember, I don't know how many of you were watching all the way back here. 8th of April. Okay, so I took a short trade all the way back here. Okay, back in April. I'm pretty sure it was the 8th or 9th of April. No, I think it was the 8th of April. So we took a short trade here. Okay. And this short trade was off of the basis that we had around 100 million long trades open up in this candle here, right? So this candle here on the 8th of April, we had over 100, I think it was over 100 million long trades open up. Okay, and what were we talking about back here? Okay, we were talking about this kind of like breakout, okay, of this $71,900 level, okay? We were getting this bit of a breakout, and of course we were looking towards all-time high. Even myself, right, I'm pretty sure I was in a long trade from here as well. Okay, so I was looking towards all-time high, right? But then I started to see a little bit of a shift where we had a huge amount of long trades open up here. Okay, and price actually started to pull back, right? So that little bit of shift, that little bit of weakness for me was enough to enter into a short trade. Okay, which initially, that was kind of the start of this big bearish trend that we were in. Okay, for a good 6, 7, 8 months, whatever it was. Okay, so we have to be careful here, right? I'm just saying we have to be careful here because, yeah, we're looking towards all-time high, but back here I was looking for all-time high, and then I saw a sign of weakness, so I changed my bias and I looked for a short trade, and it was the correct decision, right? Why did I change that thesis, right? Well, because we started to pull back. We formed that failed auction. We actually had a naked point of control, a weekly naked point of control there. And we rejected off of it. We saw price pull back. We had over, it was a good like 50 million long trades were offside. Okay, so they were of course going to have to cover, right? So I got into that short trade. We saw those cover, pushing price down into more long trades that had to cover, and we just saw this big move down. Okay, that's what we saw. Okay, and if you're in the Discord, you can go all the way back there and you can have a look at what we were doing there. And if of course if you're here and you were here when we were back there, you will of course remember it. Okay, this was a huge kind of like controversial type trade because everybody was expecting all-time high here. Even myself, I can hold my hands up and say I was looking towards all-time high. So I'm just trying to highlight that point that, okay, yes, I'm looking for all-time high here. Okay, we do have this naked point of control just below all-time high, so we have to just be a little bit aware of, okay, could we front run all-time high like we did? We've done it previously. I've just shown you the example. Okay, and then we start to put those traders offside. Okay, once we do, that's when we can kind of look for a short trade because we're probably going to see a big long squeeze here. We know the amount of long trades that have opened up here. Billions upon billions of long trades have opened up here. Okay, so what we have to remember, okay, is how have we been trading this? Okay, how do we trade this? How have we been trading this over the past 6, 7 months? Right, well, we've been shorting all of these highs here. Okay, where of course huge amounts of long trades have opened up. Right, huge amounts of long trades. And what have we been seeing? We've been seeing these huge long squeezes. Okay, and we haven't seen this trend end. Right, we haven't seen this end. This trend is never going to end when we see these big long squeezes, and the same with short squeezes. You're never going to see this end. Right? Okay, sometimes long squeezes are favorable, sometimes short squeezes are favorable, depending on the direction of price and depending on how the market is. Okay, what the dynamics of the market is. Okay, but at this moment in time, and how the market has been over the past 6, 7, 8 months, even though price has been bearish, okay, everybody's been incredibly bullish. Okay, and of course, all of these people that have been incredibly bullish have been wrecked. Okay, so we just have to just remember this, right? That we are going to be coming into resistance. Okay, we have a hell of a lot of long trades that have opened up here, a hell of a lot of long trades that have opened up here, and a hell of a lot of long trades that have opened up here. Okay, so not necessarily saying that we're going to see a big crash, okay, because I do understand and I do believe that we are seeing big institutions actually getting in here. And of course, if you've been watching, you will know why, but I will go over it in a moment as well. Okay, that of course are holding, which is holding price up and stopping, kind of like overselling in the market because they're of course buying up those sells. But yeah, of course, if we do start to see price pull back, we do just have to be a little bit aware that we could see a very big long squeeze because of the amount of long trades that have opened up. So it's just something we have to think about. And of course, kind of like a trade that I'm going to be planning and going to be looking for, right, is of course Bitcoin breaking above all-time high. Okay, huge amounts of long trades opening up there as well, right, where then we start to pull back a little bit. Okay, and on that pullback, right, we form some sort of failed auction. Maybe it's just a little wick. Okay, it could literally just be a little wick above, get back below, respect that naked point of control. For me, right, where we are there after forming some sort of swing failure pattern, okay, or even just a failed auction, right, we could look for a huge short trade here. A huge short trade, because we know what's going to happen to retail traders at all-time high. We know that they're going to open up long trades. Okay, we know that's going to happen. Okay, and then of course what we're going to be looking for is a type of absorption, right, where price then comes into some resistance. Of course, you can't see that resistance, but what you're going to initially think, right, and what we kind of believe it is of course big institutions, okay, with big sell limit orders, who are of course, absorbing all of those longs that are coming into the market, right? And then when there are no more longs, when the longs are exhausted, right, what we can be looking for, of course, is then price to reverse in the opposite direction and go down. Okay, so it's again swing failure patterns, failed auctions. They are a type of absorption. Okay, you just can't visually see it really. Whereas, with CVD, you know for sure what is moving price, okay, and what is holding price up or pushing price down. With swing failure patterns, failed auctions, you kind of just have this, know that it is absorption, because it is. That's what it is, right? When you see these swing failure patterns, when you see these failed auction patterns, what they actually are, okay, is big buy limit orders or big buy sell limit, big sell limit orders. Okay, price coming into those, and whatever price is doing, say price is going up, all of those longs are being absorbed by, of course, that big, all those series of big sell limit orders. Okay, that's what it is. And then of course it's a type of absorption. And then when, in this instance, the longs get exhausted, you start to see price reverse in the opposite direction. And once price does that, okay, it starts, of course, that domino effect that I talk about all of the time, where, we see, in this example, okay, it works the opposite way as well, where we see longs cover selling into the market and selling into more longs who do the same thing. And it's that domino effect of just longs covering, selling, longs covering, selling, longs covering, selling, longs covering, selling. And it just causes this huge crash. It's exactly what we've seen over the past 6, 7, 8 months, right? And I wouldn't look for this to, I wouldn't look for this trend to end, because we know that everybody's incredibly bullish at this moment, right? So that's kind of what I would be looking for up here. I'd be kind of looking for a bit of a short trade, of course, if and only if I see weakness, right? Remember, I was looking for a short trade here, and I did not take that short trade because there was no sign of weakness. Price just smashed through these levels, okay, with ease. There was no short trade to be had at this level. However, okay, we have a bit of resistance above us. Of course, we've got all-time high. Let's just mark out all-time high as well. Right, this is our next major level of resistance. This is, of course, a major level as well, where we could expect a lot of long trades to open up. Okay, if a load of long trades open up, we see a type of absorption up here. Price starts to pull back. Okay, for me, this would be a big sign of weakness, and we can look for a big pullback. Okay, whether that be a big pullback to give back all of that move up, okay, or Is it just going to be a bit of a pullback for a continuation higher? I don't know, and I don't care, because of course on a bit of a pullback, I'm going to be looking for a long trade anyway. Okay, I will be looking for a long trade anyway. I'll be looking to take profits on the short, looking for a long trade, right? Moving the stop loss to entry on the short trade as well. And again, I have levels towards the downside, which I'm interested in longing. I do. Okay, and it's not that I'm incredibly bearish looking for a huge bear market. No, it's I'm looking for a bit of a pullback, because I understand there would be a reason for price to pull back. Okay, where then possibly we could actually look bullish here, and I could see a strong case for price to rise, and I look to take that trade. Okay, so that's just kind of what I'm planning for, right? We did not see what we wanted to see here, so I didn't take the short. Now let's see what happens here. If we see what we want to see, we can take the short trade. If we don't, fine. We look for higher prices. Okay, we look for higher prices. We look for a short trade at higher prices, because at some point we're going to get a short trade set up. We're going to see a pullback at some point. Okay, so it's just about being a little bit patient for that, right? So yeah, and talking about that, let's say, right, we get the short trade, okay, we get the pullback, all right, and what I was talking about earlier about that CVD absorption, right, and that's been holding the price up for how long now? Since the start of August, right? Since the start of August, so yeah, three-ish months. We're coming to the end of October, aren't we? So yeah, three-ish months, right? We've been held up, price has been held up by big institutions, okay, big players, right? Whoever it may be, institutions, big whales, I don't care. All I know is big players, right? They've been holding price up. They've been absorbing all of these sells here, okay? And what we have to remember is, if these institutions were not in the market right now, we would be in a completely different position, okay? We would most likely be in a bear market. Okay, and we would probably be below 47k right now if we did not have these institutions in the market. Okay, why? Well, because the institutions are the ones that held this bullish structure here, first of all, then held this bullish structure here as well. Okay, how do we know this? Well, if we come over to the if we come over to the order flow, right, we take a zoomed out perspective, we can see, of course, right, as price has been making these higher lows, right, the CVD, okay, the delta has been ticking down, right, telling us that negative delta has been building over time. So even though price is going up, negative delta has been building, all right, rather than positive delta. Okay, it's been negative delta that's been building. You can see, right, we were at -50. Okay, of course we were much higher. Okay, we were probably in the positives back here. Okay, but yeah, here we were like 23 million. Okay, and then we went all the way down to -335 million. Okay, so we saw a huge increase in negative delta there, a huge increase in negative delta. But price was bullish, right? Why are so many sells coming into the market, but price is going up? Right? What is this? Right? This is a big institution holding this price up. Okay, this is a big institution because, of course, all we're looking at here, right? All we're looking at here is these market orders. Okay, these market orders. But what it's not accounting for, of course, is those limit orders, right? And those limit orders are what these big institutions are using, right? So we know, right, that prices had a rise, had a pull back. Okay, but we're holding this bullish structure, whereas the delta is building negative. It's still building negative. There's still more sells coming into the market than ever, right? Telling us that as this price is pulling back, there is a big buy limit order here, or a series of big buy limit orders that are absorbing all of those sells, okay? And then what happens once those sells get exhausted and there's not enough of them, well, price reverses in the opposite direction. Okay, so that's exactly what's been holding this market up here. That's what's been different in the past 3 months compared to all of this period here. Because all of this period here, there were no big players, there were no institutions absorbing all of this price action up. What we can actually argue here is that because we were seeing so many like failed auctions and swing value patterns, we can actually argue that they were selling, right? They were shorting. They were selling here, right? They had big sell limit orders up here, okay, and pushing price down. Then they took a shift here, right, where they're now actually buying here. Okay, so there's been a big shift, and that's what's been holding price up. Okay, and we have to remember what has retail traders been doing throughout this whole period here, even when we were bearish. What have they been doing? They've been longing. Okay, it hasn't worked for them all this period here. Okay, but it's now starting to work for them here because the institutions are in the market. Okay, and now that the institutions are in the market, of course, we are seeing price head towards all-time high. Okay, but you're going to expect these institutions to take, the institutions are smart, right? They're the smart money in this market. So you want to be doing what these institutions are doing. Okay. So the question is, right, what are we going to see up here? What are we going to see? Are we going to see these big institutions with a big sell limit order? Okay, or start to sell off? If we see this with some sort of swing failure pattern failed auction, because initially that's a type of absorption as well. Right? If we see this, okay, it's big possibility for a pullback, right? Because of course it's not only their sells coming into the market, it's of course then a huge long squeeze, right? That's what we of course would be looking for. So yeah, getting back to it, this whole market has been held up over the past 3 months because of institutions buying, pretty much big players buying, right? That's what's held price up, and it's finally working in the retail favor. Okay, but we know how it ends, right? We know how it ends for retail traders. We know the majority of the time they get wrecked. So we just need to be on our toes here. We need to be on our toes, right? And we need to just remember that there is a possible, okay, short trade at this level, and a possibility for a big pullback. I will bring the chat up as well. Sorry, I can see a few comments have come in, so let me just bring the chat up here. Stock markets, it's not actually at all-time highs here, but of course that rising is only going to help Bitcoin. Damien, good to see you back, my friend. When the trend breaks, it moves quickly, and Doge is rocketing. Go doggy. Yeah, so yeah, I guess your trade is doing really well, Damien, to be honest with you. Let's have a look what you put in here. So yeah, it's gone to your TP2. Amazing. And you can see we've got a bit of resistance at your TP2 there before another move up. So yeah, it's really nice to see. And then it's kind of heading towards your TP3. Let's see if that TP3 is hit. But yeah, that's an amazing trade put in from Damien. That was all the way back up here somewhere. Here we go. So this was back on the 11th of October. Damien put this long trade that he was taking here, 3 drives pattern. This was at 0.11. Okay, TP1 was at 0.13, TP2 was at 0.166, which of course we just tapped, and then TP3 is at 0.2. So yeah, it was a really good trade from Damien there. We could get a huge failed auction from all-time high. That would be wicked. Yeah, so swing failure pattern. We can look for like 200 million plus longs trapped at 76k. Yeah. 1.2 on 1.2 billion on USDT. Mad. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy it is. But yeah, like you said, it's 75 to 76. To be honest with you, it could happen at lower prices, in all honesty. Yeah, it could happen a little bit lower, and we're still pumping it. 73,000, Jesus. If we get a failed auction and we get like 10 billion longs on most exchanges at 75, the crash will be huge. Exactly. In a short space of time, less than 7 days. Yeah, very true there. You would expect it to happen very quickly, very swiftly. Kind of like these moves here. Very quick down here. Here even very quick down, bit of a move up, very quick down. This is kind of what you would be looking for. Lifestyle Arena, I don't believe I've seen you here before. Maybe I have, I can't remember. Big fan, thank you very much. Yeah, hopefully you're enjoying the content. if you need any assistance, that will be. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I will. Yeah, I will let you know if I do need any assistance. But thank you. Yeah. So so close, right? So close to all-time high. If you haven't already, please do make sure you smash that thumbs up button as well. It does really help me out. Helps the channel out. And yeah, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. But yeah, very close to all-time high here. Very close. Let's see if we've got any more long trades open up here, actually. We're seeing a fair few shorts closing as well. Kind of to be expected, to be honest with you. We did see a lot of fair few short trades open up here. Nothing too. In all honesty, these are probably like old long trade, old short trade. Sorry. But yeah, no real more, not a huge inflow of long trades coming in really. But yeah, stock market's still rising, right? Yeah, it's just patience, right? It's kind of looking towards all-time high, in all honesty. And I mean, we could front run all-time high again. We've done it before. We have done it before. But yeah, exactly, what I was talking about earlier, right? Here, I was confident that we were going to hit all-time high up until the point where I saw weakness. That's when I changed my bias, and I'm going to stick with the same mindset here, right? I'm going to be looking towards all-time high here, unless I start to see a bit of a shift, a bit of a sign of weakness. But I would at least like to see that naked point of control above us. If we are going to front run it, I'd like to see that naked point of control above us just get tapped. That would be really, really nice to see. And then maybe like we fail auction or swing value pattern, maybe some of these lower levels here. Of course, front running all-time high. Because again, remember, like everybody is expecting all-time high here. And the market loves to wreck the majority of the market who are thinking the same thing. So, and again, just this was an example here. Everybody was thinking all-time high here. Even I was thinking all-time high here. Luckily, I know, right, when to shift my bias, right, when to change how I feel, okay? But, there would have been a lot. Well, I can tell you here on Bybit, BTC USD alone, there was 100 million, okay, 100 million people who were thinking the same thing and did not change their bias, right? So they were all expecting all-time high, right? So, you could see the same thing here. You could, okay? But where I stand right now, I'd still be looking for all-time high, in all honesty. New long on Brett's rotated profits from Doge. Yeah, so sorry, I did miss that, didn't I? I think. Did you put it in here? I think I remember you putting it in. Which one was it? Was it one of these lower ones here? What was that? That was Ethereum. That's ADA. Took a small position on Doge. Oh, sorry. I'm looking in the wrong area. What am I doing? Rotate. Yeah, this one. I saw rotated Doge profits. I like the Brett setup. So yeah, where are we with Brett? So that was at 0.0978. Brett 0.0979. So let's go and have a little look at, I think, to be honest with you, I've got Brett on here actually. Is it this one here? That's Bone. Here. Bonk. Brett here. There we go. Yeah, so that's in a nice bit of a profit. Does have a long way to recover to all-time high, but yeah, I mean, if it does make it to all-time high, you know, it's doubling. It's pretty much double. Well, it is doubling, right? Isn't it? So yeah, I mean, it's still looking at this chart. It still looks pretty good. You know, considering Bitcoin has been bearish over the past few months, it's still looking good. It would have been nice to see a bit of a bigger rise as Bitcoin's rising, but let's just have a look at all the Doge might be a good one. I mean, Doge has had a pretty decent move up, right? Let's just go to Ethereum, have a bit. Yeah, so in all honesty, right? In all honesty, we're not really seeing this alt season. Well, what they call an altcoin season. So yeah, I mean, we could just be lagging behind on the altcoins a little bit here, and then we get it. You know, of course, if we do not get this big pullback on Bitcoin, of course, from all-time high, if we do start to see weakness up here, all right, that's just something we have to remember, okay? Because yeah, again, like it's just textbook, right? We know how it works, right? But yeah, just looking at Ethereum, right? You know, we're nowhere near where we should be, okay? If we are still in this bull market, okay, which we are, right? But yeah, if Bitcoin does not get this big crash from all-time high, okay, then there is a huge possibility, okay, that yeah, Ethereum is going to get a huge rise, and of course, when Ethereum gets a huge rise, most of the I'd expect a lot of the altcoins to follow it. What we have to be a little bit worried about, okay, is this. All right, we have to be on Ethereum. We have to be a little bit worried about. Let's get rid of these. This possible triangle pattern here, because this is what retail are going to be looking at. This is a little bit worrying, right? This is what retail are going to be looking at. Okay, I know I'm a retail trader, right? But in terms of retail traders who trade like retail, this is what they're going to be looking at. And it's okay. Do we get the breakout here? Is this Bitcoin breaking all-time high, right? For them, Bitcoin to possibly get a short trade set up, sorry. Okay. And Ethereum, of course, is breaking out. Lots of long trades on Ethereum. Bitcoin pulls back. Ethereum pulls back. Ethereum gets a fake out. And then, of course, all those long trades that have opened up have to cover, and we push price down like this. Okay. So this is something that I will save on the charts, and we'll see how this plays out. But yeah, we could, right? We could see breakout, move up, right? We could. If Bitcoin breaks all-time high and we just see continuation, 80K, 90K and higher, right? Yeah, Ethereum to all-time high would be really nice to see. But yeah, it's it's something that we have to be a little bit careful. If I were to see this on Bitcoin, okay, this is something that I'd be very worried about. Bitcoin is the one I love. Bitcoin is the one I trade on a day-to-day basis. If we see this breakout and we see this sort of thing happen, okay, not very good. Okay, and that lining up, of course, with Bitcoin coming to all-time high, okay, into resistance, where I think that we could have a pretty big pullback, right? I'm thinking to myself here, right? Maybe this Ethereum is actually a good bet, right? Because if Bitcoin's going to get that big pullback, Ethereum is probably going to see it as well, and probably see it a little bit worse. So, yeah, right. Maybe I'll look for this short trade on Ethereum here as well. That's something to of course, think about. Let's just see. Let's take a look. Have we got any levels above us on Ethereum? Yes, we do. Just above us. Just above us. So this could actually get quite interesting, in all honesty. Sorry, I'm on. What am I on about? I'm on Bitcoin here. Why did that change from Ethereum? That's on Bitcoin. What am I doing? How annoying. Right, this isn't wanting to be my friend either. Right, let's just go back to Bitcoin because I can see we're pumping still. All right, again, ever so close to all-time high here. Let's see, is this going to want to play nice? No. Right. Oh, dearie me. This just really doesn't want to play nice. What is going on? Maybe it's because I'm live streaming at the same time. Anyway, yeah, I'll have to see if that wants to load, to be honest with you. Maybe I'll just try and zoom out a bit. Doesn't really want to play nice. But yeah, just going back to Ethereum quick, if of course maybe we've got some sort of naked point of control. I can see here we've got where's this from? So we've got this VWAP from this low down here, which we used previously for long trades. But let's take a couple more VWAPs, right? That's not too interesting for me, just because of where it's pulled from, but it is kind of interesting. Let's have a look at this. That's a little bit too high. That one could be a little bit more interesting. I'd like it to be a little bit lower. That one's out of the question. Yeah, in terms of VWAP, not really the best for it. So it would be looking for more of a naked point of control down here, but XR charts on Ethereum for some reason doesn't want to play nice. So I will have to look at that off stream and yeah, get back to you on that one. But yeah, just like I was talking about, right? You know, if Bitcoin's going to get that short trade set up, this is a short trade we can kind of look for on Ethereum. So yeah, I'll keep that in mind, keep my eyes peeled on that, and let's see how that comes into fruition if it does. But yeah, so close to all-time high here, so close. So close to another possible short trade, right? Yeah, ExoCharts is just completely gone wacky on me. I'm not even going to try it again. I'm not even going to attempt it. Jasby, good to see you back, my friend. I haven't seen you here in a while. Good to see you. Buy altcoins. Yeah, so I do not really own any altcoins. In terms of my HODL portfolio, it's a lot of Bitcoin. It's a fair bit of Ethereum, and that's it. That's absolutely it, to be perfectly honest with you. Yeah, let's just have a look at. Let's just have a look at. Am I going to have it on here? Which do I have it on here? US dollar dominance. That's what we want to see. Right. Oh, we're still in this channel. I remember looking at this ages ago. We're still in that channel. Yeah, I mean, the dominance is just going up, right? So yeah, in all honesty, for me, not the best time to get into altcoins if I'm talking in terms of HODL portfolio. But yeah, maybe if I start to see some signs of weakness on this chart here, okay, technically, right, technical reasons, yeah, that's when I will maybe start shifting my portfolio into more altcoins, possibly. But yeah, I will admit that I am pretty I wouldn't say a Bitcoin maxi, but yeah, just the majority of my portfolio is in Bitcoin. I will admit that, and I think it's just. I think the reason for it is it's because that's what's worked for me, and it's just I like to mitigate risk. That's kind of my thing in this market. I like to just mitigate as much risk as possible. Mr. FFS, what a nightmare. You have no Bitcoin longs, right? No, I don't, unfortunately. Yeah, so I wish I did have of course, I wish I did have longs open up. But yeah, I do not have any longs open up. The long trades that, of course, I had planned was, of course, all of this was public, right? And I was sharing it on the Discord as well. The long trades I had planned was this one here, and then we had one from here as well. I'd planned originally to have a long trade from lower, but we didn't quite make it. But I was also talking about this one here. Okay, this one here, and yeah, that played out. But yeah, like I said previously, both of these trades presented themselves to me at 1 o'clock in the morning, so I didn't manage to. I was asleep, so I didn't manage to get those long trades in. But yeah, I'm in no long trades at this moment in time. Wish I had those two long trades, but it's like I'm not going to enter into a long trade just for the sake of it, right? You know, those were the two long trade setups that were presented to me, and I was unfortunately asleep at both of those occasions. So it's like, you know, I can't dwell on it. I just look for the next move. It's annoying, but it is what it is, right? I'm only human. You have to sleep. Bitcoin dominance not relevant anymore for alts. Okay, you must learn to use altcoin dominance. Let's have a look at the altcoin dominance then. So I don't believe I've got the altcoin dominance on here. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. So, would it just be? What's the symbol for it? If you can put that in the chat. Altcoin. I don't know what it would be, to be honest with you. Yeah, I don't look at it. You poo-pooed the bull flag. I mentioned it last week, but it's playing out. Yeah. So let's talk. Yeah, let's have a little talk about that. So yeah, I mean, it's playing out, right? It's starting to play out, but yeah, you know, it's kind of what I've been talking about this whole stream, right? Where, you know, we've still got resistance above us. So yeah, okay, this bull flag could play out, right? I get it, but yeah, it's not that I've said this is not going to play out, right? I just know how it ends a lot of the time, right? So yeah, let's see what happens here, right? Let's see what happens here, and you know, we'll see, right? We just got to wait and see. Because we either come up here, right, all-time high, we see huge amounts of long trades open up, price starts to pull back, right? Then we see, of course, that domino effect I talk about where we get that long squeeze and we see a big move down, whether that be a huge move down or just a little bit of a move down. We don't know. I don't care. Okay. But that's what we could kind of see. And that's going to wreck a lot of long trades, right? Then maybe from there, we go higher. Okay. But yeah, you know, when I'm talking about this bull flag, right? Yeah, I understand it can play out. I do understand that, right? I do understand it can play out, but okay. On the other hand, I know how these things play out a lot of the time, and it just doesn't play out a lot of the time. And it's, you know, it's just like taking a conservative target from this as well. You know, taking a conservative target. That's just from this from this low here, right? A lot of people are probably taking it from the bottom of the bull market and all of that nonsense, but you know, we're looking for, you know, 102k. It's possible, I guess. It's possible. It is possible. But yeah, again, I'm kind of getting into stuff that I don't really care about. I'm not really interested in. It's more of, you know, let's just see what happens at my important levels, right? If I see a short trade set up here, okay, I see a lot of weakness here, I'm going to be looking for a short trade. I'm going to be looking for a pullback. Okay, yes, you know, we're looking at this as a bull flag because we know that everybody's looking at it as a bull flag. But yeah, what you have to remember as well is that this is a pretty big bull flag as well. You know, and of course, when you see fake outs, you initially get a breakout. This is it here, right? This is the breakout. So even if we do, okay, let's just say, right, that this doesn't play out. This is perfectly normal, right? This is perfectly normal, okay? For them, possibly all-time high, okay? And then we get this pullback, okay? That's a fake out there, down, right? Because you have to remember, the target for this, the conservative target, is over 100k. Right, that's what the conservative target for this bull flag is. This is what all the people who are trading this, okay, are going to be looking at, right? So it's, yeah, we're seeing this breakout, okay, but is it going to continue to, you know, is this breakout going to be, you know, a good breakout and we go to that intended target of 100k, or does this breakout and give us the opportunity to enter a short trade here for then price to possibly fake out, and then we see a bigger crash? That's kind of what I know I can take advantage of, because I know my probabilities are good. Okay, I know that I have good probabilities on a short trade up here if, again, I see what I want to see. So it's it's not that, okay, this is not going to play out. It's like, okay, if I see weakness here, I'm just looking to take advantage of that weakness, because I know for probability's sake the price could pull back. The point I want to make is it makes a difference if you are holding spot. Yeah, definitely, right? Definitely. Of course, yeah, holding spot does make a difference. Like if you're buying spot, yeah, that's ultimately going to push price up as well. We have to remember, though, a large portion of this market is trading using leverage. Okay, it's on futures, right? So it's as well, right? So yeah, that's how I look at it, right? I don't really care about this, but all I look at, right, is the futures, right? That's all I look at. Okay, and I know, right, that works, right? So that's why I look at it. If you're trading futures, I get why you don't care about so-called flag patterns, no longer time frames. BTC shorts still ain't closing, so more of a short squeeze is coming. Yeah, but what you have to remember here as well is that we are at all-time high pretty much. Okay, we are a few $100s below all-time high here. Okay, so I'd argue against that and say there's not really going to be much of a short squeeze. Okay. Okay, there could be a little bit of a short squeeze, but there's not going to be a huge short squeeze because there's just not a load of short trades open. So yeah, you can't, in my opinion, it's all opinion based, this market, right? You have to remember that. I get that, right? So yeah, in my opinion, it's like, okay, I don't really see a huge amount of shorts still open, right? Yes, there are. Okay, let's refresh this, right? We are seeing a bit of a short squeeze, okay, but it's not what I would class as like a proper short squeeze. But yeah, you're right up here, right? We are seeing shorts getting squeezed out. Okay, we are. So yeah, we can think about that as well. But again, like going back to what I was saying at the start, which this whole move up has been mainly fueled by longs opening up, right? That's what it is. Yeah, okay, it's been fueled by a little bit of shorts closing, right? Which of course is then buying back into the market as well. But it's I'm kind of looking for like the majority reason, right? What is mainly causing the move, right? That's what I like to look for. And yeah, we are mainly being fueled by new long trades open up. OI on longs are still rising. Yeah, I mean, long trades have been opening up, right? And look where we are now. We're at that naked point of control here. So yeah, very, very important level here. Very, very important level. Let's see. Let's see what's going to happen up here. Are we going to get to all-time high? Are we going to get to all-time high now? That's the question. Yeah, I mean, there's way over 200 million long trades that have opened up on this move up. Like way over. And we are ever so close to getting to all-time high here. Ever so close. And that's going to come, that's going to come with long trades as well. That is just going to come with long trades. And then, of course, it's right. What do we do here? What do we do here? We also have to remember as well, there's going to be a lot of single prints that open up here as well. There's going to be a lot of single prints there. And, again, you don't have to fill single prints, but single prints, they do get filled a lot of the time as well. So that's, kind of another incentive that if we do see what we want to see here for a short trade, there is, again, more of an incentive for price to pull back as well. Again, like where we are here, I was looking for a short trade here. I didn't take the short trade here. Okay. Here as well, right? I'm looking for a short trade here. Am I going to take a short trade? I don't know. Okay. I don't know up until the point I see a short trade set up. Right? If I see a short trade set up, that is when I realize, okay, I'm going to take a short trade here. Okay, but up until that point, I don't know if I'm going to take a short trade because, again, we like here, we just smashed through this resistance with ease. Okay, so we could do the same here. We could just smash through this level and continue higher. It's a huge possibility. But yeah, to be honest, I would like to see the short trade here because it means I can get into a trade. So that's just me being a bit biased, right? Yeah, I mean, getting back to like what you were saying, Mr. FFS, what a nightmare. Getting back to what you were saying about a bull flag, like if it is going to play out, right? If it is, we could still get a pullback here. We could still get a pullback and get some sort of long trade from down here to then take us up higher, right? I'm pretty sure it's still, yeah, we've got, let's say we just breach all-time high and then we pull back from there. Let's say we see something like this possibly. We can come into a GP 786 level with a naked point of control, and all we have to look for is absorption there. A big player, a series of big players there, okay, to absorb all of the sells that would be coming in from, of course, all of the long trades getting wrecked, right? And then, of course, I'd be looking for a long trade there for a rise up, right? It's exactly, I showed you an example here yesterday. There was, of course, this bigger example here where we had a naked point of control, we had GP 786, we had absorption. That was the long trade which played out. Okay, we had another example here that I showed yesterday. We got this really nice rise. Okay, so yeah, if we're seeing the same thing here, we get a short trade here, bit of a pullback. Okay, yeah, right. Maybe we don't get the fake out, right? Yeah, okay, we could get the fake out and we go lower. But if we're actually showing strength here, I'm going to be looking for a long trade to then take that back up to all-time high, right? Again, trader here, not perma bull, perma bear, right? Literally a trader. And then, of course, I look for a short trade, maybe up here, okay? It's trader, not perma bull, perma bear, okay? It's, trading probabilities, right? So, yeah, that's a possibility. Like if we get there, and, that would align with holding support there, of course, with the top of the bull flag, and then you can get a bounce from there. And that'll make all the retail traders happy, right? But yeah, we'll see. Okay, we'll have to see. We can't really, you can never predict what goes on in these markets. You can only wait patiently for a trade setup, and then it all comes down to probabilities. What are your probabilities on that trade? Okay, that's all it comes down to. But yeah, very, very important level we're at now. Very close to all-time high. So yeah, I think it's a good place to leave it. I think we'll come back tomorrow. We will regroup tomorrow, and we will see yeah, what happens. Okay, do we hit all-time high? Do we front run all-time high? What is going to happen here? Remember, okay, like I was talking about earlier, this short trade that I took all the way back on the 8th of April, okay, I took this short trade because I was very, very bullish, looking for all-time high, but then I saw signs of weakness, right? I saw resistance with a weekly naked point of control there. We started to pull back, okay, putting a lot of long trades offside. Okay, again, there were 100 long trades that opened up in this one candle here. We formed a failed auction or a swing failure pattern, can't quite remember. Right, that's when I shifted my bias to being a bit more bearish, looking for, of course, that short trade. Okay, so this is again something that we could view here. Maybe we front run all-time high. We have just done it now. Okay, maybe we reject off of this naked point of control here. Okay, maybe we get the short trade set up here for a bit of a bigger pullback. Okay, this is something that we have to be aware of. Or we could go all-time high, get a pullback there, or we could go all-time high and just smash higher. Okay, who knows what's going to happen, but just making you aware of these scenarios, okay, because we've seen them before, right? We have seen them before. And of course, if I do end up taking a trade, of course, as always, the first people to know about it will be the team on the Visionary Discord. That's where I put every single trade that I take, of course. So yeah, if you want access to that, first link in the description. Free Discord, of course, is the second link. But yeah, I will leave that there. I hope you guys have a lovely, lovely rest of your day. I will, of course, see any Visionary members in the Discord. And for the viewers who are not Visionary members, I will see you tomorrow for the live stream where we can, of course, see whether we have hit all-time high or not. And we can talk about it, right? So, yeah. Take care. If you haven't already, please do smash that thumbs up button. And yeah, again, if you are new to the channel and you have not subscribed already, please do subscribe. Like I said, I will do a $500 giveaway at 500 subscribers. And then if we get to 1,000 subscribers, I will do a $1,000 giveaway. But yeah, to be entered into that, you will have to be subscribed. So yeah, take care. And yeah, like Damien says, hit those likes, people. Thank you very much. I will see you later. Take care and goodbye.
Take me home, 'cause I wanna feel like I belong. They relate to all this pain in my past, so they listen to my song. So let's go back to where it began and where it all started from. Take this chance, one last dance, 'cause I've been waiting.